So guys, the news that we've all been waiting for, it's official. Manny Pacquiao will be taking on Keith one-time Thurman, July 20th on Fox pay-per-view. Here we go. Here we go. It's finally on. I made a couple of videos saying that, you know what, Manny Pacquiao fights take ages to get announced. And here we have it. It's on. Pacquiao to take on Keith one-time Thurman. Great fight. Great fight. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And you know what the best thing is? That we're only about 9 weeks away from the fight. So we haven't even got long to wait. It's just a great fight for both guys. It's a brilliant matchup. A fight that, you know, I've been waiting for quite a while. And I think it's a fight that, you know, the fans, in my opinion, are going to be treated to a spectacular fight. I think Manny Pacquiao was probably weighing up his options. He was obviously waiting to see what you know, what the landscape, what's available, and to hit. I think he realized that this was probably the best option for him right now to take. I think it's a brilliant fight. I think it's a brilliant fight, and here's why I think it's a brilliant fight. I think it's a brilliant fight because both of them have got something to prove. Manny Pacquiao has been fighting guys like Lucas Matisse, Adrian Broner, guys just a bit lower than the top level guys. In my opinion, the two standout welterweights right now are Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Just below that, you would say it's Porter, Thurman, Pacquiao. These guys are in the mix. Now, what we want to see from Pacquiao, if he can still compete at that top level and he can still beat guys at that top level, like a Thurman, because you would say Broner and Matisse are below that level, right? So this would be an opportunity for Pacquiao to show whether he's still at that top level. And for Keith Thurman, after his comeback from injury and his layoff, we want to see whether Thurman can get back to the top. Because we all know before he got injured, he was probably the #1 welterweight. And then he went in, you know, he was injured and he went away. I personally think that, you know, Keith Thurman is probably not the same fighter after a 2-year layoff, because I believe that, you know, that injury takes a toll. And I also said that I think, you know, it's going to be, you know, the injury that Keith Thurman had was a career-threatening injury, because no one takes over 2 years off, right? Just to relax their body. He's taken 2 years off because he was seriously injured. I can understand him taking 9 months to a year off, but I don't think he would take over 2 years off. The reason why he took over 2 years off is because he was seriously injured and it was a career-threatening injury. And you know what? In his last performance against Lopez, although he got the job done, he was very close in losing that fight. So, you know, Thurman's got a lot to prove. Thurman's got to prove whether he can get back to the top, because many people think that Thurman's probably past his best now. And that injury that he suffered is probably going to mean that he's not going to be able to get back to the top. That's what many people think. So Thurman's got a lot to prove. This is why I think this fight is just a beautiful fight to be made. And I was always saying that this is the fight to make. And I think it's the right thing that's happened for the welterweight division, because now we're going to see whether Thurman's going to rise to the top. Many people will probably want Thurman to win because they think that Thurman's young. He's still got a long left in the sport. Whereas Pacquiao he's old. He's on the way out. He's got a couple fights left. So many people probably want to see Thurman get through that fight. But, of course, Pacquiao fans would want Pacquiao, of course, to win the fight. But, again, I just think it's a cracking fight. It's a fight. It's a fight, in my opinion, like I said, it's going to tell us a lot. It's for the WBA super welterweight championship of the world. You know, we know that Pacquiao's a regular champion and Thurman's a super champion. So it's going to be for that. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see who comes out on top. Very, very interesting. I think both guys are going to give it their all. I think it's going to be a cracking fight. I think it's going to be one for the ages, if I'm totally honest with you. I think Thurman's going to give it his all. I think Pacquiao's going to give it his all. If I'm totally honest with you, I favour Pacquiao in the fight. I think Pacquiao will beat him, even potentially even stop him. I'm not sure that Thurman, to me, is the same man. And I just think that Pacquiao may be too much for him. I think Pacquiao might be too strong for Keith Thurman right now. I think his layoff that he had is going to probably come back to hinder Thurman. You know, a lot of people do favour Thurman, but I think the reason why they favour Thurman is probably because of the fact that Thurman, they're looking at the old Thurman. I think if it was the old Thurman, you'd probably favour him slightly, but obviously you wouldn't favour him massively against Pacquiao because it's Pacquiao. But right now, at the stage of where Thurman is after his injury and how he looked in his last performance, which went 12 rounds, and normally you can see a lot because when someone goes 12 rounds, because you see how they take, how their punch resistance is, have they got the same power, have they got the same skills? And to me, Thurman looked like an eroded fighter from what I've seen before. But again, we need to see more of him. It was his first fight back, so it could have just been ring rust, or it could just be that he's damaged goods and he's not the same fighter. So we'll find out in his next fight. I think this fight is a great caveat for us to see whether Thurman is over the hill, or Thurman it was ring rust and he was getting the rust off against Lopez. He was lucky because he almost got knocked out in that fight. I do feel that he can't afford to give Pacquiao any opportunities in this fight. If he does, I think he will get stopped. I do favour Pacquiao, like I said, quite heavily, if I'm honest. I'm not sure Thurman's the same fighter. So I think it's a great fight for the boxing fans. I think the boxing fans have been treated to a spectacular fight. And here's the thing with the welterweight division: we've just had Khan Crawford, we've had Spence Garcia, now we're gonna have Thurman Pacquiao, and we're probably gonna get Spence Porter. So the welterweight division is not disappointing. It's making the matchups. Obviously, you want to see Terence Crawford mix it with the PBC guys, and then it will just be all complete. But as of right now, the welterweight division is not disappointing. We're getting big fights, and Thurman Pacquiao is just another big fight that's just been made official. Guys, what do you guys make of this fight? Who do you favour? Great fight. What do you guys make of it? Leave your thoughts, guys, in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.